back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Shinry. Here at Everything Anime Podcast, I'm from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, whatever the topics I'm talking about. Today's video is on Tokyo Ghoul. I think it's chapters 40 to 46. Nishio's past and Touka's Super Saiyan. Not exactly, but that's why I like my titles, creative names. Now, it's been a minute since I talked about Tokyo Ghoul, but I think the last place I left off is Kaneki got fooled by another ghoul for like the third, fourth time into believing that they were a good guy, even though he knows by now to not trust these random ghouls. Especially when Touka warned you about him and you know Touka longer. That he took him to this like so his other reason was like the Yuta, Yomo, and Ito girl had told him like, you get in there and get information from me. I'll tell you about Rise's death, what I know about it. So he did have his own motivation. So I guess I can't call him that stupid, but like still have a lot more precaution. But anyways, yeah, he found out that him and two other humans, they found out like they were actually the main course of the gourmet ghouls, which of course Kaneki obviously, and at least with the humans. And then he got saved by Shu because Shu realizes that he's a one-eyed ghoul. That's exactly where we last left off, I believe. So when this chapter opens up, Kaneki's having a nightmare that all the ghouls are holding him hostage at the restaurant and they're eating him alive, which would be a terrible nightmare. I've had nightmares where I was surrounded by zombies. It was like a childhood nightmare. Like the last thing to stand there was like a trash can. You ever seen the Dawn of the Dead or Day of the Dead, whatever? They was trapped inside of the mall, standing on the roof. Yeah, that was me, but on a trash can, surrounded by these zombies trying to reach me. And those are those reasons you can't wake up like a witch riding your back. Like you can't open your eyes. So you gotta force yourself in real life to fall off the couch or whatever. Yeah, so I understand a nightmare, being eaten alive. That would definitely be horrifying. He wakes up at Natsuiku, surrounded by Hinanami, Mr. Yoshimaru, and Yomo, who are all relieved that he's okay. Obviously, they would have also told him, like, why your dumbass went to that gourmet restaurant, why you hung out with Shu, when Touka warned you. But overall, they're glad he's okay. And Mr. Yoshimaru, I don't think it's these chapters, but you'll start seeing, like, he has some ulterior motive. I think that's when we get to Agori Tree, which is where I'm at now. You learn that, like, maybe Mr. Yoshimaru has some, like, ulterior motives. And, so once again, they wish they had warned him not to go despite Itiori. Despite his deal with Itiori, they tell him, like, don't feel too strongly towards ghouls who thought about eating you or laughed at you for dying for their last meal. Like, he's like, I know that there's bad ghouls out there, but there's good ones like us, like Mr. Yomo, who, like, gives thanks to the ghouls that are going to eat him, or the humans he's about to eat. Mr. Yoshimaru, who built Altiku for humans and ghouls to kind of coexist. Obviously, Hinanami, she's a little child. Her and her mother came to Altiku. The father was a provider. Once they lost the father, the mother was like, okay, we got to have that. We got to learn to survive for ourselves. But he knows Hinanami, and obviously Touka, her best friend's a human. So, And Kaneki's already seen both sides of that world. He's seen the side of the humans, he's seen the side of the ghouls, so he already lives in the balance. But it's simply like us humans who don't feel bad for the cow who became our burger. This is our argument. They're like, you don't feel bad for the cow that you ate that became your burger. You don't feel bad for the chicken that you ate that became your fried KFC. You don't feel bad for the crab that became your lobster, at the gourmet restaurant. So I was like, I get what this author is doing. You get it. You understand it because you're seeing it from the ghoul's perspective. But it's like, still, like, I don't know. Humans, it's a little different now. Anyways, ghouls weren't made to see humans as anything more than sustenance, and thus they have no regard for their lives. But also humans have grown up, seeing these things are monsters. Well, first of all, they're not supposed to exist. But since underwater Tokyo ghouls, since we already know, humans already are fully aware of ghouls. Like, we've seen it and they just acting casual about it. Like, humans see ghouls as nothing more than monsters that are going to eat them. So, in the terms of this story, I understand it. But yeah, outside of this story, I'm like, no, bitch. I would still kill a ghoul. But it really is trying to hit you with some reverse lessons. That's even in my notes. It's trying to hit you, like, trying to get you in the perspective of a ghoul. Even though we're humans, we're obviously not going to agree with ghouls. Kaneki then gets a visit from Nishio's girlfriend, who comes to him crying, telling him his stomach wounds aren't healing. This is the wounds that Nishio got when he got beaten up by like those ghouls, and Kaneki saved him, or he stopped those those ghouls from beating him up, the cannibal ghouls. Kaneki knows that he needs human meat, and while he could do the obvious and is just trying, I mean, like, okay, so obviously Nishio needs human meat, but he's not eating it, or he hasn't been able to get any. And I was like, Nishio, I mean, Kaneki, you could just do the obvious, just ask Mr. Yoshimura if he'll help him, because you know Mr. Yoshimura is all about like helping ghouls and humans coexist. And as far as we know, he has no problem with Nishio. Nishio's not outing himself to humans or nothing like that. Meanwhile, I'm wondering why Nishio didn't just kill his girlfriend, but I guess they have like this rare once-in-a-lifetime romance. This is before I found out about Nishio's past. But yeah, at this point, I was like, Nishio, you just need human meat. Like, your girlfriend's a human, just eat her. Eat some of her flesh. You'll heal your wounds. You ain't got to eat her completely if you don't want to, but, I don't know. It can't be that hard to, like, damn, now I'm sticking up for ghouls. Jesus Christ. But she gets nabbed in the next panel by Shu because we learned that previously he was stalking Kaneki. Like, Shu is obsessed with eating Kaneki. He's obsessed with eating the best meat, the best meal, and Kaneki, a one-eyed ghoul, is the piece de resistance, or whatever you say. Like, the je ne sais quoi. He knows why he wants it, but, And so he kidnaps Nishio because he's like, oh, I can lure you to get to Kaneki. He then invites Kaneki to a dinner between the three of them. He leaves like a little note, which means obviously she or Kaneki is definitely going to die, or somehow Kaneki will offer himself up for her to live. How that will work out at this point, I didn't know. But obviously, that's all I was thinking. Like, I was like, okay, so Nishio's like, okay, I found somebody you care about. I mean, she found it, like, she was like, I found somebody you care about. It's Nishio's girlfriend. I'm going to kidnap her. You can come save her by offering yourself up to me, or we can eat her together. But obviously, since Shu's plan is to eat Kaneki, it's more like to just get Kaneki to come by himself, like eat him alive. Like, obviously, he's going to kill a human woman too, obviously, or he's going to have to. Kaneki then was obligated to go because she only came out hiding to ask for his help. Like, Nishio's girlfriend, it's aware that Nishio was a ghoul, but like, she ain't out here on these streets to get killed. Like, she ain't out here to like just meet up with ghouls. She came specifically to meet Kaneki, so Kaneki feels person responsible that she's going to be killed. Even Nishio, the guy who tried to kill him and hide, is begging for his help. So this might be where we get a fight. This might be a fight where we get to see Kaneki, who can use his Kagane at will, and it really shines. That's what I was thinking, because like so far, Kaneki, he's been able to bring out his Kagane in disparate moments, but the whole training with Yomo and Takuya was so that he could bring his Kaneki out his Kagane out at will. He doesn't so you don't have to always be in a panic state, and it works. But I thought it was interesting that Nishio, the ghoul that tried to kill you and tried to kill your best friend Hyde, is like begging you for help. And obviously that's his girlfriend. He cares about her. So he's currently weak. He needs human meat. He can't fight Shu on his own. And probably Shu's probably stronger than him anyway. But I mean, again, just ask Mr. Yoshimura why y'all are at Atayuku before you go fight him. So, get your energy back and go fight him. Nishio, despite wounded, offers to go to help Kaneki, but Kaneki warns him that he shouldn't. But this is where he kind of the author tries to humanize Nishio, because he says, "You think I can leave her behind?" After reading that note, to which Kaneki submits and says, "Let's go." So this is where the author is trying to make you feel bad for Nishio. Like, he's like, oh, I see Nishio's not a bad guy. His girlfriend's human. Yeah, Nishio gets off on befriending humans, and then once he earns their trust, betraying them, because that's what gets him excited. That's his thing. I almost said that's his way of playing soccer, because I've been watching Blue Lock. That's where Isagi says that about everybody. That's his way of playing soccer, which I guess makes sense. It's a soccer manga / anime. But again, we ain't talking about Blue Lock. I do want to talk about Blue Lock. After I catch up on season 2, we'll talk about Blue Lock. I like Blue Lock, especially season 1. I just said we ain't gonna talk about Blue Lock. But yeah, he's trying to humanize Nishio, this ghoul that was our first major big bad in the series. I guess Roz was our first big bad. Nishio was our second one. So I was like, this will definitely be an odd and interesting team up, Kaneki and Nishio. Meanwhile, Takuya is looking off in the distance like Batman. She's just sitting on a stoop looking down at them. And I don't know if this is because she knows what's going on, or she's going to be one of the three that fights Shu. At this time, I didn't know that. But it'd be really cool to see a 3-on-1. But before we find out, we flash over to the church. The psycho gourmet ghoul, Sukiyama? I guess that's his real name, Shu. In my notes, I have Sukiyama. I'm not sure what that name is from. I must have forgot. But he's playing Beethoven while holding Nishio's girlfriend Kimi hostage, as if they were playing one big play, or where he is a major antagonist in the sense, I suppose. Like, he's like basically the hold on, sorry about that cut. That'll be the only one for this video. So anyways, it happens to be right on time because his gourmet meal Kaneki arrives with a weakened and exhausted looking Nishio. So Shu ain't really threatened. One, he wants to eat Kaneki in the first place, and then two, like, Nishio, you ain't had no human. Really, you should have stopped the Aryoku before you came here. Like, that's your sensu being. Eat your sensu being, eat your human meat before you come, so you can fight Shu and save your girlfriend, obviously. Though he goes Super Saiyan Ghoul mode the moment he sees Kimi in danger, the gourmet Ghoul is like, I haven't even laid a finger on her yet. Like, so Nishio freaks out seeing Kimi, like, even though she ain't been harmed, he's just like, I'm gonna kill you, Shu. And he wants Kaneki to, because Shu's plan is, the reason why Shu hasn't killed her or, like, eaten her yet, he wants Kaneki to eat Kimi, and then he wants to eat him. Like a weird, what's that fucking movie? The Human Centipede, but a ghoul centipede. Like you eat Kimmy, and okay, not like that, but like that, like pretty much a ghoul centipede. Fucking weird. But that's Shu's mind. He's like, you'll be ripe with, like, you know, your flesh will be more, I don't know, more succulent. It's so weird to use this terminology. Anyways, the battle begins almost immediately as Nishio tries to sucker punch him, but he's too weak and exhausted and winded, and he's taken out by a single punch. Again, Nishio, you should have just ate some human meat before you came there. Aryoku was like right there. Or just, you know, I mean, I ain't gonna say kill like random, he's a human on the street, but I mean, you a ghoul and that's what you do anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I would have did something. I wasn't sure if this was because the gourmet ghoul was overwhelmingly strong, or because Nishio is extremely weak, or it's just a combination of both. Like, maybe Nishio fully powered up could have maybe did some damage to Shu, but, like, we can't really tell that because this ain't Dragon Ball Z. There ain't no power scales. There ain't no power levels. This ain't One Piece where you can tell Island Destroyer from, like, somebody like Captain Kuro. It's not Naruto where you can tell, like, a Village Destroyer from freaking Aruka Sensei. Like, you know, you can't really gauge it with Tokyo Ghoul. But so I can't really say Nishio full powered how he would handle Shu. But Kaneki tries to fight once again. I'm sorry, it's really funny. When Kaneki tries to fight again, he's once again called a chick. I mean, I was laughing when I was laughing when he was like Nishio, and Nishio was like, "Well, you trying to hit with your like?" He was trying to hit Nishio with his bag. I'm gonna tell y'all a story in a second. But he was trying to hit Nishio with his bag, and Nishio was like, "You trying to hit with your purse? What are you, a chick?" So listen. When I was a kid, okay, I was obsessed with superheroes and shit like that. The scene in Greenland video, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this is like elementary school. Me and my friend, like, play fighting. Me and my friend are like play fighting with these two other kids, like this bully. And so my friend, like, he's using his speed to like chase off one of the other kids, and I'm like, all right, I'll handle this one. And I literally said, like, I'll handle this one. And I was having with my jacket. I swung that jacket like it was Captain America's shield, and he caught it like Bucky. And I was like, oh shit, I don't even know what the fuck I thought that jacket was gonna do, but that's why I think that's so funny. Because, yeah, just stupid humor, like the whole chick thing, because it makes me think back to this fight with Nishio in the purse, and it makes me think about my little childhood. I was like, I'll handle this one, and he catches my jacket. It's like, well, I mean, obviously Captain America had super soldier serum, but if that was his only thing was throwing the shield, and Bucky catches it, it's like, oh shit. Anyway, I even put in my notes, I was getting hilarious. So that's what I mean. Sometimes I just be on it. Like, I don't even need my notes to like talk to y'all about everything. I can just go based off like my memory and like talking to y'all. But it begins bodying Kaneki all over again. So I was like, at this point, we need Takuya to show up. Like, we know Takuya's watching. We know she's like doing her Batman thing, lingering in the shadows. So I was like, at this point, Nishio's too weak. He's getting his ass whooped. Kaneki's once again being called a chick. Like, Takuya, you gotta come. You gotta come in here and say it though. And again, great detail on the damage, the fear, and the impact of how this author draws. I really do compare the author of Tokyo Ghoul and Dr. Stone pretty well, like high comparison. Again, early Bleach. Let me show you. Early Bleach, T. Kubo, his backgrounds were fucking fire. Like, if you read Bleach, you know what I'm talking about. Like, his backgrounds just, they were fucking incredible. T. Kubo, you still bomb, but you was bomb as fuck when it first came out. And then, what do you know? Takuya does show up in the nick of time. And I don't know what kind of joke I made, because I said, did you see what I did there? I don't know what kind of joke I thought I made. Maybe because she's a speedster kind of demon, or a speedster kind of ghoul, but Takuya does show up and save the day. And then Taiju Yama, I guess that's Shu's real name, because I'll bring that up again. He's going to fend, he goes to like fend like Gar when he gets wounded. Oh, he goes fiend mode, like when Gar, when he gets wounded, where he says for the first time, like, I haven't been hurt in a long time. Or like when Gar, when he first got stabbed by Sasuke Shidori, he's like, blood, it's my own blood. I've never seen my own blood before. And, well, that's weird because Gar had that scars made of his blood. Anyways, yeah, Shu, he goes fiend mode because Takuya, like, wounded him. He made him bleed for the first time in a long time, I guess. We can also see that in her own way, Takuya is starting to care about Kaneki, as she says some kind of weird line like, I don't care about Nishio, but if Kaneki dies, there's one less worker at Altaiku, and then that's more work for me. Oh yeah, so she's trying to say in her own way, like, you know, I don't want Kaneki to die, but she's trying to be too cool about it. She's like, oh, if you die, then that just gives me more work to do. That just gives me more work to do, so honestly, I can't let you die. But we know that she cares about him just as she cares about her human friend. So very cute. We've seen the humanity in Takuya, and it's displayed all throughout Tokyo Ghoul since he met her. Now, as Takuya and Kaneki team up, they manage to knock, I'm going to just call him Shu, onto his ass, because, again, I use Taiju Yama. They knock him on his ass. Kind of surprising him for a second. But it seems like it was only a lucky shot, because in the next panel, Takuya, with his leg, like, he grabs Takuya by her leg, but at the same time grabbing Kaneki's hand before breaking it with his knee. So, like, Kaneki's going to punch, she's going to kick, and he, like, grabs them both, and he breaks fucking Kaneki's arm with his knee. Fucking insane. That shit looked crazy. He then managed to eat a piece of Kaneki's flesh, which surprised even me. Well, it surprised him, but it gives him like some kind of foodgasm because, I mean, this man starts talking Spanish. Like, he starts going in, like, you know, like he's speaking in tongues. He's like, oh, this food's so good. Just speaking a whole different goddamn language. I was laughing at the time I was reading it, but, I mean, obviously, you know, we know he's obsessed with, like, you know, this gourmet food, this, like, high-end quality food, and a one-eyed ghoul is, like, the rarest thing he's going to get. Takuya tried to attack him while he was lost in his foodgasm, but he managed to pierce her through with his Kagane. So this is the first time I believe we see Shu's Kagane, because when he first ripped open that guy, the human Ripper, he didn't use a Kagane. That was just his bare strength. And we get a look at it. It's giving me a drill on from the Big Daddies in BioShock, the game we just recently reviewed. That's the best description I can make of it. It like kind of spirals around his hand and it turns into like a pointed tip drill. It was still pretty cool though. Speaking of which, if you want me to review BioShock 2, we can do that. Just something in the comments below. I would love to play that game and relit, and because that basically is the game where you actually become a Big Daddy. In BioShock 1, there's a segment where we play as a Big Daddy, but like BioShock 2 is literally you have the drill and you got the powers. Again, not getting into that, but that review can happen for you guys. Or eventually I'm just gonna do it anyway. Because I have so many games coming up this year. Trust me, we have a lot of games. Specifically, the 21st and the 20th, we got 2 new first impression games coming out. If you know, you know. Anyways, back in the battle, Kaneki tries being noble and tries to save her. I think it was like Kimi or Takuya. And he's like, I'm the one you want. Leave her alone. You want to eat me, right? He's like, I'm right here. Come and eat me. And Nishio's like, I'll be there with you shortly. Who said a line like that?
Goodbye, Ben.
I can't let you do that.
Reed? I'll be right with you.
What movie am I thinking of? I think it's like Spider-Man or something like that. Where like, he's like, Peter, I'll be with you shortly, something like that. there's some. I mean, a lot of movies probably done it, but like Kaneki's trying to strike. Oh yeah, he's trying to kill Touka. Kaneki's trying to strike him. He's like, "Hey, come eat me. I'm right here. I'm the one you want, right?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll be right there with you. Just hang tight." Yeah. I haven't put in here trying to remember what that movie villain said, and that made me laugh at the time. Yeah, there was a movie villain. I forgot who it was. I want to say it was like fucking Doc Ock said it to Peter, but I don't know. But yeah, that's again so far ahead of my notes. But if y'all know that line, like it was a very funny line from like if I talk on the clip, but like some movie villain was like, "I'll be right with you. I'll be there with you shortly," something like that. I forget what the fuck it was. I'm trying to find it though. Anyways, I only mention this because it's his ideology, and two, because it fits his theme of his gourmet ghoul personality. He's like, I don't know why you're upset that I eat humans. Like, we're ghouls. Like, humans are the real cannibals. They eat all kinds of meat, and sometimes they eat each other when they're desperate. We eat just humans. So again, the story's trying to twist itself on you. Again, they've already told us like, oh, you eat chickens and you don't feel bad for the chicken that became your fried chicken in KFC. You eat a cat. You eat burgers, but don't feel bad for the cow that that it came from. And so he's like, humans sometimes y'all when desperate y'all become cannibals and y'all eat each other, or y'all eat all these animals and plants. Y'all don't feel bad for the plants because plants are alive too. And he's like, why do you hate us ghouls so much? Like, this is what we do. We eat humans. That's all. Again, we get it, your perspective that you're trying to tell, but we still hate you ghouls. Y'all are monsters compared to us. We're taking a look at Nishio's backstory. Never thought I'd see this coming. So, as a kid, his mother figure, it actually turned out to be his sister, I found out later throughout the chapter, so I'm just going to skip ahead of that part. It's his sister. She told him to eat he had to eat human meat to survive, to think of it as nothing more than a cow or chicken as a human would do. Again, we've already talked about that. I guess Nishio, as a kid, he was kind of like against eating humans at first, but his sister was like, "Hey, we gotta eat them to survive. Like, don't even think about it. Like, it's just bite into that burger like a human do at Burger King. Like, they ain't thinking about that cow. They just think about their stomach. Bite into that chicken at KFC. Like, no humans thinking about it, which we don't. I mean, unless you're like a super vegetarian or vegan. I forgot which one it is. No offense. No, I'm not being offensive. I'm just saying, like, most people don't think about it. But Nishio says no, he doesn't want to. He doesn't think it's right. Curious to what changed his personality so drastically then, because I'm like, you enjoy it now. You enjoy, like, becoming humans' friends and betraying them after earning their trust and getting that shock on their face. So what made you change so dramatically from like that to like, or being this kid that like didn't ever want to eat humans or betray humans to like now just getting excited out of it? As a child, he wanted to attend school, have friends, learn, and play, but the sister was like, what are you, stupid? They would know you're a ghoul automatically. Like, you can't eat like a human kid. They bleed and your eyes turn red or black. Like, they're gonna know you're a ghoul. And again, in this fucking anime, everybody knows ghouls exist, unlike, Underworld, where most of the humans, until movie 4, they know vampires and werewolves existed. That's how they blended in. But in this, it's like, oh yeah, there's ghouls out there. So, again, kind of weird. But, I mean, most of them aren't even downright monstrous looking. Like, it's not like a ghoul looks like a monster off the bat. They only look like that, like, when they're hungry or, like, when they are, like, want to feed. So I'm like, how would they automatically know he's a ghoul? Like, most of y'all even attending school now. Nishio in college, Touka in college, Auntie Iku, the whole restaurant. Like, I was like, you can't really tell somebody's a ghoul until they reveal it to themselves. Like, y'all literally look like humans unless y'all get hungry. So, I don't understand. I mean, I know humans are aware that ghouls exist, and they're really casual about it, apparently. But, like, it don't seem like, people would just know. Because otherwise, everybody should be on to, like, the fact that Hyde and Nishio and Auntie Iku and Takuya are ghouls when they attend school. But even more so weird, the sister went to get a job in the human world to allow them to get a nice place to live and have better clothes. I mean, that makes sense because basically I think like Nishio, his sister and him, their parents died or something like that. They left them, abandoned them, or they died. I think it's in my notes somewhere. But so she's like, oh, yeah, we do eat humans, but like, I mean, we ain't living the best life. We don't hang on the streets. This is followed by a one-page montage of her always going to work while Nishio waited for her Though it seemed like she kept getting fired. Like, that's what the scene kind of implies. Like, she's like, hey, Nishio, I'm off to work. He's like, yeah, whatever. Hey, Nishio, I'm off to work. Yeah, I'll see you when you get back. Hey, Nishio, I'm back. You got fired again. I think it's something like that. Like, some kind of one-page montage. Pretty cool. I mean, we didn't need to drag it out, but... I mean, that's basically what it's implying. But we then learn she's starting to look... She says he's starting to look like their dad. This is when I found out that it was their sister, because at first I was like, that has to be like the mother. That's how it's implied, and when she first shows up, it's like a mother figure. But we also see that while she's working her job, she started falling in love with a human, and Nishio witnessed this. This would definitely answer why he's in love with Kimmy, I was thinking, because I was like, if your sister, someone you had looked up to, fell in love with a human, it maybe worked out for her. Maybe you thought it would like work for you too, but I was like, it's kind of too neat. Like, Nishio is imitating his sister. I feel like something bad would have had to happen to his sister. So I already kind of suspected in my brain, like, yeah, he's saying like Nishio, his sister was falling in love with a human, and she was trying to have a human ghoul relationship. But like, I was like, something has to have gone wrong, because we haven't seen his sister at all, or her mentioned before this. But unfortunately, she was not killed. She was not killed by the boyfriend directly. The boyfriend reported her to the CCG. And I mean, probably rightfully so. I mean, again, if ghouls exist, a normal human's not going to date a ghoul. Like, the fuck? You are a fucking monster. Get out. If there was a werewolf, if my boyfriend was a werewolf, not currently. I don't have a boyfriend currently. Last one cheated on me. Wait, that ain't talking about the narcissist. But anyways, you know, my boyfriend's a werewolf. I ain't gonna fucking date him. I'm gonna fucking hit him with a silver bullet or fucking report him or something shit. Block him in the cage. We don't know what happened directly. Like, we don't see her get killed by the CCG, but like, we see like, well, we don't see how she got exposed to the boyfriend. Like, maybe she ghouled out in front of him, or maybe like she got hungry and like maybe he bled. We don't see how that happened, but I mean, obviously he rightfully freaked out. Like, or maybe she just told him outright. We don't know. Also, I like that she comments that his name is weird, Nishio Nishiki. Which I thought that too. That's why I was like, his name Nishio is the name of Shiki. We just go with Nishio because that's his first name. But that's why I got confused early on reading this manga, because I was even saying that when I was first talking about Nishio. I was like, what the fuck is his name? I was getting confused. His sister left him a letter in her death, basically saying that their father left him a register in case something happened to her. So I guess their parents didn't abandon them. I guess at this point it's implied that the father and mother died, and like they did care about their kids because they left like some money for them. From there, Nishio went to school, met a girl who he asked out day one, and they randomly started dating. Oh, I'm forgetting to mention, I don't know if I put this in my notes, but his sister's, Nishio's sister, when she died, she was saying like, don't hate humans, don't hate them for this. Like, it's not his fault that this happened to me. She was trying to convince him that, like, you know, like, this is just how it is. Like, you know, I loved him regardless, but this is how it is. But anyways, the girl that Nishio became friends with once he joined college and fell in love with was, of course, Kimmy. Now, here's one part that throws me off with this backstory. Apparently, Kimmy found out Nishio was a demon just after his fight with Kaneki, where he tried to eat hide. I thought the way this backstory plays out, it makes it seem like Nishio and Kimmy were together for a long time. But based off of this, it's almost like they met like maybe like a week ago before he tried to eat hide. It don't make it too different because their love story can still kind of work. But it just seems like it was implied that they know each other for longer than that. But at least she made it sound like they known each other for a long ass time. Well, from that attack, whenever he lost to Takuya and Kaneki, well, he lost to Takuya only because Kaneki was trying to save Hyde, but he still got his ass whooped. He was so weak that he needed meat. Otherwise, he would have died or suffered from hunger pains. And the first person available to him was Kimmy. So Kimmy came to his house after he lost the fight against Takuya. He was super weak. He could have ate anybody on his way home, but I guess someone was out there. Or he was trying to deal with it himself. And then Kimmy came over and he's like, oh, good meat. And she found out Nishio was actually going to eat her. But the only reason he didn't was not because he loved her. It's not because Nishio was in love with her. Because again, Nishio gets off on betraying people after they find out. Shock. It was because his body was too weak to finish the job. So he was actually going to kill Kimmy, but he just didn't have the strength to do it. And Kimmy realized in that moment that as well that he was a ghoul. So she could have ran up the door. She was like, oh, bitch, you a goddamn ghoul. I'm gone. CCG, get in here. I would have never sat there. But we learned something about Kimmy in a second. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, bitch, I would have been gone. The fuck? I ain't gonna stay in that goddamn apartment. Nishio panicked that she would use this truth to expose him, just like his sister's boyfriend did to the CCG. So Nishio, again, this is the mirror with his sister's backstory. He was thinking like, okay, I did crap. I fucked up. I should have killed her when I first had the chance. And it was, and he was thinking it was over him, but we know that didn't happen because obviously this is a flashback. But nope. She instead offers him her shoulder. She's like, here, eat. She goes on to say that she lost her family over vacation, her parents and her brother, and she was a lone survivor. So she kind of has like survivor's guilt. Like her family, I think they died in like a car accident. She was the only survivor. And we do know about people with survivor's guilt. We've seen that in movies and TV shows and just in real life in general. Like, you know, people feel bad. Like, why did I survive? You have that conscience. And before she met Nishio, she actually wanted to die. She tried to kill herself. But after meeting him, she found the will to live. Like, meeting Nishio kind of changed her life. And so in this dark, beautiful, and twisted way, she thinks this is her way of repaying him. She's like, you know what? You helped me feel alive again. So if I have to die for you to live, I'm down for that. So very twisted, dark fantasy. But again, this is Tokyo Ghoul, so you just have to go with it. She's willing to die. She's willing to die to save him because he saved her. This awoken something inside of Nishio. Don't remember. Now, remember, he gets off by betraying people who gained his trust, but he lets her live because he says he wouldn't mind if she betrayed him. So, like, because, like, I think in this moment he fell in love with her. Like, she's like, you know what? If anybody betrays me, I don't mind if it's you. Like, if you one day want to turn against me and turn me into CCG, I wouldn't hold it against you. So it kind of twists his like thing, like, you know, his thing about tricking people and getting off by like betraying them. Whereas like with her, he's like, okay, no, I genuinely care about you. Like I inspired you to live, and you're willing to die for me. So I guess in a twisted way, we're meant for each other. All this is before flashing back to the present, where we go all in on Shu. And okay, I was like, the backstory was well earned. Okay, I will give it to that. I did enjoy Nishio's backstory, so I gotta applaud that. It was pretty good. But you're gonna make me feel bad for no other ghouls, I guarantee you. Outside of Takuya, I love Takuya. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough. Literally, like Bankai Ichigo charging at Aizen and his finger. You know the scene. I ain't gonna clip it in here, but you know that legendary scene where Ichigo's theme song is playing. He's running at Aizen for the first time. He's like, Getsuga Tensho, and the theme is playing. Now you feel like number one, and then just stops. Bitch, epic anime moment ever. One day we're gonna do a video about the biggest anime moments, and that was one of them for sure. But yeah, the gourmet ghoul goes on to say, like, you can't defeat a ghoul without your Kagane. So even though Nishio's charged up and Takuya's coming at him and Kaneki's there, like, he's like, Nishio, you're still too weak as fuck to fight me. And you can't beat a stronger ghoul without eating high quality meat, apparently. He compares his Kagane to a car and human meat gasoline. If you want your car to run at top performance, you gotta give it top tier gas. I guess I get what you're saying. He's trying to make a comparison. He's like, oh, you know, you guys, y'all are so weaker than me because I eat high quality meat. I eat high quality humans. You guys just eat whatever trash you can find. So, I mean, yeah, because the way it works for humans, like, you know, if you eat crap, you know, sugar and all this bad food, you're not going to get stronger. You're not going to be able to top perform. Or drink soda all day is going to give you that rush, but it's not going to help you get through the day. Whereas if you drink water and plenty of good fluids, your body will get stronger. So I guess I get what he's saying. Takuya agrees because, don't forget, she's been eating her friend's human food all throughout the series or all throughout her life since she's become college, which has been making her sick. And it's because she cares and loves for her human best friend. So Takuya is also weaker. And we know Kaneki's just eating them coffee cubes because he don't want to eat humans. He don't want to eat human meat. And then Nishio came here without fucking eating a senzu bean / human meat. So all three of them are weak. And you got Shu, who just ate some of Kaneki's flesh. Always be eating good because of them gourmet meals he be wanting, or gourmet humans he be after. Or best human meat quality he can find. Again, weird terminology to say, but again, this is a Tokyo Ghoul video, so we're just gonna go with it. But yeah, so basically she was like, I'm way stronger than all of y'all right now. So they don't stand a chance unless they start eating human meat. Like, in the future, this is like their moment. They're learning right now. Like, if y'all start eating human meat, y'all are always gonna get your ass whooped. And again, it's the Damon out. Oh, yeah. So I've used this argument before, the Damon Salvatore versus Stefan Salvatore. You know, Damon Salvatore, he drinks human blood to stay stronger. And then Stefan, he just be eating them, drinking them bunnies and rats and shit. And the human blood versus animal blood, Damon's always going to be stronger than Stefan. But when Stefan does drink that human blood, he overpowers he overpowers Damon because he's just stronger whenever he drinks human blood. He's also a ripper, if you ain't know. We're going to one day talk about the Vampire Diaries. That's a whole long goddamn video talking about the Vampire Diaries. Anyways, Takuya then tells him they have to eat Kimmy. And I knew this would happen because I knew this would be bad because Nishio would hate all of them. Like, if Takuya's trying to convince Kaneki, like, hey, we gotta eat Nishio. We gotta eat Kimmy. Like, that's the only way we're gonna beat Shu. And Nishio's like, hell no, I refuse. He's like, hands out, trying to block them from reaching her. But they don't really have any options. Like, Shu's gonna kill all of y'all. Meanwhile, speaking of Nishio, Shu fucks that dude up. He is fucking him up left and right. The fear in Kaneki's face and the brutality of the blood, the way the words are written. I mean, I hope the anime does this scene justice. Like, again, if you read the Dr. Stone manga and you saw when, like, Tsukasa pulls out that phone and the reaction to his face, that close-up, that shit looks so dope. But in the anime, it looks so goofy. Like, Tsukasa has, like, this goofy face on. I was like, you ruined that fucking perfect cinematic scene. Like, it looks so intense, but the anime looks goofy. So I'm hoping, like, these serious, cool scenes in Tokyo Ghoul, when I watch them in the anime, they are done justice because I'm telling you, this guy, he's an amazing artist. He does really good detail. But even when on the verge of death, Nishio clings on just to save Kimmy. He really is devoted to this woman. So there's no way in hell Takuya and Kaneki can kill her. I was like, there's no way y'all can eat her now. If y'all eat her, Nishio's gonna fuck y'all up. Like, I know. But again, we know Kaneki's not like that in the first place. Takuya, she's a different level. But I meant, like, what else are they gonna do? Like, she was going, if y'all don't eat Kimmy, or y'all don't eat some kind of human flesh, like, Nishu is gonna kill all of y'all, and then he's gonna kill her too, because obviously she knows the truth. That's when Kaneki has an idea, and I knew what it was when I got to this point. He asked Takuya, at your fullest, who's stronger, you or Shu? And she says, we're about even. If I'm fully powered up, we're about even. And I knew at this point, Kaneki would obviously say, eat some of my flesh, and you'll become stronger than him. Because if you eat human meat, and you are on the same level as Shu, eating the flesh of a one-eyed ghoul should make you like a Super Saiyan ghoul. So that's the title of this video, like a Super Saiyan ghoul. That's when she bites him in this really cool panel, and I'm gonna just show it off for a few seconds because again, this author, beautiful fucking, as dark as this anime / manga is, it is really fucking beautiful when he draws stuff. Before, obviously, Shu freaks the fuck out. He's like, how dare you eat some of my meat? That is mine. That succulent. Again, forgive the terminology, but again, that succulent meat is all mine. Like, he's like, how dare you eat any of that? And that's when we get to see Takuya's cool Super Saiyan Kagane. Not sure what's going on here, but it looks like some kind of spiral energy on one of her arms. I think from the images I've seen, she has like these like butterfly wings, but they're like flames or something like that. Again, I haven't seen the anime up to this point, so I don't really know. I want to get further in the manga before I start watching anime again because I don't know when the anime is going to end by season 1. But, well, I'll probably have finished. To be honest, I'll get back to anime. I'll finish Blue Lock season 2, catch up on Dr. Stone, and I'll go back to Tokyo Ghoul up to the point with the Agori tree. And I'll start watching the scenes again. But now fully charged, they prepare to engage in battle. And we know one thing about her, she is a speed type, or high speed type. That was Takuya's thing. Well, Takuya unlocked agility in Pokemon, like when Pikachu learned agility for the first time, because she's gone and she's moving like Flash Step and Bleach. Like this girl is like here, like leaving after images of where she was. Really cool panel too. And for a moment, it seems this power is going to overwhelm Shu. And maybe she is, because she's making him even more excited to eat Kaneki's flesh. He's like, oh, that Kaneki's blood, Kaneki's flesh made you this much stronger? Oh, hell yeah, I can't wait to eat him. He goes, like, basically Broly levels of insane. Like, you ever seen... I guess both Brolys are about even. Like, Broly, Super Saiyan... Well, Super Broly is better than Broly Z, in my opinion, story-wise. But, yeah, he goes that levels of insane. So much so that his Kagane changes shape. And from the form of a drill into a long blade. So he starts pulling out some prototype shit where he can like change his arms into whatever weapon he wants. But super speed still outmatches his cutting blades for now. Like she's still outspeeding him. Like he can't cut her faster than she can move. I do give him props on this battle though. This is way more suited to a battle shonen now, because Tokyo Ghoul is a part of Shonen Jump, and Shonen Jump is known for their battle mangas. Where, again, I said Tokyo Ghoul is more like a slice of life. Like, it feels like it belongs in the tier of, like, Assassination Classroom. I think JoJo Bizarre's Adventure is a... Well, yeah, because JoJo Bizarre Adventure has fighting. But, yeah, Assassination Classroom, it has action, but it's not really so much. Or Spy Family. Like, Spy Family, Assassination Classroom, it feels like Tokyo Ghoul fits in that kind of category. Despite getting his ass tore up from the flow up, I put that in my notes. Shu tries to convince us that this fight still isn't over, that he's got one more card up his sleeve. But before he unveils it, Nishio pulls his ass down for one last attack. And I had to give it to Nishio. I was like, okay, you still in the fight, Nishio. You still make yourself relevant, despite, Shu should be overwhelming your ass anyway. But that distraction was all Takuya needed to slice his arm off and do some massive damage. So even though Nishio, he technically didn't stop Shu, he just distracted him, but all she needed was a distraction. Like, again, she's the high speed type. All she needed was a second of his distraction. But it also seems to have been enough, because it seems like it's finally taken Shu down. And a happy resolve from Kimi, and a happy resolve on Nishio's face, because Kimi's still alive. So I was like, that's good. Nishio then makes his way to her and saves her, which I thought was very cute. But somebody ain't having it, and that's Takuya. Remember what she told Kaneki, if Hyde ever found out about ghouls, she'd have to kill him. Well, Kimi now knows about ghouls. She knows about Takuya, she knows about Kaneki, she knows about Shu, and she knows about Nishio. Like, she gotta die. She ain't taking no chances. Like, she's like, I can't have her having a CCG all after us. Like, the CCG's already aware about the rabbit. Well, no, Mato saw her face as well as Hinanami, but she killed Mato. And Amon, he doesn't know about Kaneki, because Kaneki had a mask on, but she's like, we can't take no more risk. Now, one, I love the full circle back to previous chapters, and two, I definitely think the backstory with that man, where we saw something with that man we saw has something to do with her motivation. The man I'm referring to is going to be, spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1, Takuya's brother. I knew it had some relationship to Takuya, but Takuya's brother hates humans, whereas like Takuya, obviously, the reason they have strife is because she cares about humans, where he's like, oh, fuck them. And he knows about her human best friend. But Nishio ain't moving, though. He ain't even afraid of Takuya even killing him. He's like, you have to kill me if you want to get to Kimi. And I love the look in his eyes. Like, again, you made me go from hating this villain Nishio to like giving him respect and props. So that's some pretty good writing. Again, it was mostly his backstory that did it. But to solidify the deal, Kaneki says that Kimi is like Hyde to him. Like, like to Nishio, Kimi is his Hyde. Or his Hyde. Or Yodori, the girl who gives her food, that's like her to... Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry, last cut. So, Kaneki also argues, like, if Yodori, the girl who gives you food, if she found out you were a ghoul, could you kill her? Would you do that? And so it kind of gives Takuya pause. She's like, he does have a point. I knew this would be the breakthrough, though, but she doesn't. She attacks anyway. So I was like, oh, shit. Like, you try to get through her humanity, but she still attacks. And she tries to show Kimmy, and she would have if Nishio hadn't blocked her. Like, Nishio gets in the way for just a 3-second. Again, just enough to throw her off and make her miss. But that's where we get this really great scene. She cuts, like, so Kimmy was, like, blindfolded or something like that. And she cuts Kimmy's blindfold. And so Kimmy sees Takuya for the first time. And all Kimmy says is, her Kagane is beautiful. And Takuya is stunned by this. She's like, what? And that leaves her speechless so much that she turns around and leaves. And that's where I ended the chapter. So we're going to end the video here. Sorry for all the break cuts. I am cooking and got other things going on at the house. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Talk to you later. See you there. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado the Legendary Konjuis Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Reign Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And, to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So, if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.